Morning, beauty fam. Did you ever have one of those days where you planned out your outfit and your makeup and everything goes sideways? This is the fourth top I've put on today. The original outfit just didn't work out. And then I ended up also putting on, my face had an allergic reaction to something. So I am going into work. I need the foundation and makeup to last like 8 to 10 hours. And I grabbed the Dior Backstage 3 Warm Olive, which usually is like just an OG. It's a long wearing one. It's been known to be worn for weddings and big events. I put it on and it was awful. I think two things. It's because I am having a reaction. And the second thing is I think I'm still tan from the rest of the year. So 3 Warm Olive is too light for me. So it looked terrible and pasty. And I'm just probably a 4 Warm Olive now. I'm like more medium tan. Anyway, I grabbed my OG. This never fails me, and I'm so sad they don't make this anymore because they've gone to a new formula. I grabbed my OG SUQQU cream foundation, and I love this so much that I have it in 2 shades. 35, which is my winter shade, and then 40, which is my now really my regular shade. 35 is too light for me, so I use 40. So 35 I put just like in the center of my face to lighten it up. And the rest of my face is 40. And I just think this is probably, I tried the Chanel Sublimage, the cream foundation, and it was awful, but this is like my favorite cream foundation. I do enjoy the new SUQQU, the foundation, which is like replacing this, but I enjoy this formula more just because it's less glowy. It's more like a demi, like satin matte kind of finish. And I just generally like my foundations to be more on like the matte side just because I will get super oily and glowy probably in the next 2 hours despite me powdering down. I'm having a reaction. So even that's like discoloration from, I don't know what, I'm just having a reaction. So that's a little bit of eczema here. That's not like the foundation's fault. Grabbed also just kind of my OG products. When I'm like, I learned my lesson. When I'm having a reaction, I just need to go with my tried and true products. So I grabbed my Victoria Beckham bronzer, and this is like such like a just, it never lets me down. Never lets me down. This is my favorite matte bronzer. I love it. And then what else did I grab? So this might have been a mistake. I grabbed a MAC cream blusher. This is such a beautiful color, but Ginger Luck here, that's the color. I think I should have stuck with powder. So I'm gonna grab some powder blush here. On my top shelf, I have most of the SUQQU blushes, and I'm so sad they don't make the melting powder blush formula anymore. So these are my favorite blush formula, I would probably say, in my entire collection. I'm using my tried and true blushes because I know it's not gonna fail me. So I'm just gonna grab, let me see what's a clean brush here. I'm gonna clean this off just in case. And I'm grabbing a squirrel hair brush. This is SURRAT and it's angled. I love this. I wish I can get another one. I might have missed the sale. This is the melting powder blush 103 soft pink, and 103 is a limited edition, but you might be able to find it. And I'm just gonna, go ahead into this, tap a little bit, and just that's really nice. It just kind of, this is such a cool tone look. It was this MAC one was too warm and it just ended up looking at bronzer kind of thing, but I just want blush because blush is the first thing to disappear on my face, and I just want to brighten up my face to look a little bit healthy. Now, I put a little too much there, so I'll dampen that down a bit. A finishing powder. Okay, so I love that. With blues, I like cool tone blushes, so that is on my cheeks. The other thing that I actually put in my bag, I'm trying this out today. This is something I saw on somebody like on social media. So I also get influenced on social media. And this is a new release. This is from Bobbi Brown. And I have to be honest, I don't wear much Bobbi Brown, but I get now why people like Bobbi Brown. It's kind of like adult makeup for women in their 40s, 50s, 60s. And that don't want a lot of razzle dazzle, but like want like makeup that's easy, no fuss, and like simple and easy. So I wanted to try this. This is the Long Wear Cream Shadow and Kohl Liner. And it's a new color. It's a collaboration. It doesn't say who it's with, which is unfortunate. And this what is the shelf life on here? It doesn't say. Anyway, I got the color Slate Shimmer and Nighttime Matte. So this is what it looks like. I thought this was really cool because it looked really, really easy. So on one end is the liner, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like here. It's a nice matte navy blue, and you can smudge it, which is so nice. And then on the other end is kind of like the shadow, or like a creamy stick. And I know that a bunch of you know this, like you've tried her products already. This is for me new, but what a beautiful combination. Look at that blue. And I'm just gonna layer it over here so you can see how that ends up looking. Sorry, that was a little messy. When I saw this on somebody, I'm like, ooh, this is like Lisa Eldridge Vega, but in like a two-step form. And I really didn't like that Vega palette. It actually, some people really love the Lisa Eldridge formula. It did not work for me. It was the cream to powder formula doesn't work for me for some reason. So when I saw this, I'm like, okay, so Bobbi Brown is an easy aesthetic, and that's what I have on my eyes today. So what I'm going to look for is creasing up here because I have hooded lids. It doesn't feel completely dried down, so I will be reporting back. But basically, I went in with the matte liner on top, made a little wing, and then kind of did this at the lower lash. And then I started doing the shimmer shade, and then took a brush and then just buffed out the edges. And then I also smudged it there and, you know, buffed out the edges with a brush. And I wanted a little bit on the edges as well. So let me just show you what I did. Just took a clean brush and you can take any brush, and then packed on the color where I wanted more shimmer and depth. And it's definitely buildable, as you can see. So what I'm gonna look for is to make sure that it dries down, because I have hooded lids and I need this not to budge. But it was so easy. It was easier than eyeshadow. So the thing about smoky eyes is that, you know, my eye shape is not so obvious of like following the rules of where it should be. So I have to always go back. This one is a little bit jacked, so I got to fix that. So what I'm doing is taking my original concealer brush. I got to take a mirror here because I can't see. And then cleaning up the edges with my concealer brush. And it adds actually another lift too, but it actually cleans up the edges. And I use that Westman Atelier concealer, which I'm loving. And it's pretty, it's a heavy duty one. It's a really great concealer. I really love it. Okay, so I clean up the edges. You know, because I have that certain eye shape, it can be, I could fuss, but you know, just basically I'm trying to fill in the edges and create a shape here. And this is just a brush I used earlier with that product. I'm just using any leftover. This side looks nice. This is a little bit messy. Okay, so I don't want to fuss too much. I did finish my eyebrows. I ran SURRAT eyebrow pomade through my eyebrows, and it has dried down. So I'm hoping it'll last through the day. And what I'm going to do is actually bring it with me just in case, because there's nothing worse than having makeup on your eyes and then there's a crease. So I'm going to bring it because I have not, this is like basically a wear test before I do like a formal review. Right. I grabbed 3 lipsticks and I have no idea if these are going to work. So I grabbed the Valentino. This is the new Spike Matte one. Super lovely formula. You don't get much product, but it's such beautiful packaging. And it's refillable. I grabbed Lisa Eldridge's Velvet Fawn here, which is more cool. And I actually might grab that one. And then this is the Hermes Beige D'Oblis, which I think is too orange. Yeah, that one's more orange. So I think for this look, maybe I'll do a combination of these two, actually. Love to cocktail my lipsticks. Okay, I'm going in with, this is 134R, and I've reviewed this on my channel. It's a beautiful matte lipstick. and it's refillable. This is probably like really competing for probably the best packaging released this entire year. So luxe, it's nice and heavy. And then I'm grabbing Velvet Fawn to put on the inner part. Nice. Perfect. So I'm going to grab both of these and bring them both to work. And I know some of you know, if you're have a certain status with Lisa Eldridge, her new lipstick formula, her refillable, her Rouge Experience released today. And I have 2, maybe 3 lipsticks in my cart. I'm disappointed, and it's not her fault, that the deepest shade isn't ready for purchase yet. That's the one, Cherry Bark is the one I'm most interested in. The other shades look okay. I feel like they're on the light side. So for me, I could probably pass with maybe that Cherry Bark and maybe 2 or 3 other shades. But I don't know. I just was looking at them. I'm like, are these going to show up on deeper beauties? Like they looked very like, they looked too light other than the red one. And it seemed like there was like the deep red, deep Cherry Bark, and then a standard red. And then the rest were like nudes, but for people with super light to light medium skin tones. So yeah, she said in her video, she is going to release more at the beginning of next year and then throughout the year. So I'm excited to see what she has in terms of the release. As I'm talking to you now, I just realized I'm like, I should just buy 2. I'm going to buy 2 to review because it's a new formula. And so I don't want to invest like getting a lot of those just in case I don't like the formula. And I'll say the reason why. Like I love her matte formula and her the other pigmented one. I can't remember. It's like I can't remember. It's the one that's super pigmented. Her Luxuriously Lucid one is an okay formula. And her Balm formula, which came out this year, and I did a review of it. Initially I liked it, and then people were chiming in asking me like, oh my God, like, can you smell it? How can you stand the smell? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But what happened was I was using it, and along the first release, like the first 2, it wasn't creating a scent. So the scent of the lipstick wasn't coming through. But when I started to use it more, the scent of the lipstick started coming out. So as I was like, even after my review, like that's when the scent started to really get really strong, and I just couldn't bear it anymore. Like I really don't like scented perfumes, like lipstick perfumes. And I know it's not scented or perfumed, but there is a scent to it that's like a part of her natural formula. It must be some of the oil. So what my long way of saying is that I want to try her new formula, just not for like the quality, but I want to make sure also it doesn't have a scent, because what happened is I think I bought about 6 of those Balm formulas, which are not cheap. They're, you know, there's an investment in there. So I bought 5 or 6. I think I bought the whole collection, and I don't use them anymore because I can't stand the smell, and I can't sell those back. I can't return them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see my nieces this holiday and my sister. If anyone wants them, I'll dip them in alcohol and clean them for them, but I just don't use them anymore. So I really want to make sure that Lisa Eldridge's new formula doesn't have, at least to me, an offensive smell, because I was really disappointed. Like the quality of those balms are great, but the smell, I just couldn't get past. So I'm going to just get probably 2, test those out, and let you know what I think. You know, I'm a huge fan of her velvet lipsticks. Hands down, they're the best. It's hard to beat and come up with like a new product after like your best product is like out there in the market. So I love the velvet formula the best. I know some people have experienced breakage, but I still love them. I think what I've done is like just shove them back in, or if I've had broken ones, I've contacted her customer service and they'll send me a new one. But that's, you know, part of lipstick is this wear and tear as well. I love the formula so much. Let me know what colors you're getting. I'm likely going to get Ashes of Rose and then there's like a mauve pink one. The others just look way too light. I am not a light or light medium. I'm like medium tan, and I don't like that concealer look. It's not gonna look good on me. And I know people are like, well, then you can use a liner. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I like, it has to show up on me. And I have actually 2 to 3 pigments on my lips. And so that's why I started my channel. It was like really hard to find someone with my skin tone and like my lip coloring where lipsticks actually look good on me. So I am going to get 2. And then when that, depending on how the formula is, if I like it, then when it gets restocked, I'll get that deep berry one because it looks so like that's my color. Scrumptious plum berries, Bordeaux, those are my colors. Okay, I didn't mean that to be so chatty, beauty fam. So here is the finished look. Let me get in. I'm happy now with the blush. The eye makeup is looking good so far. No creasing, as you can see. 2 lipsticks on the Valentino 134R, the Spike Matte Lipstick, and then Velvet Fawn on the middle. And yeah, we're just gonna take some of this setting powder here. I don't set my face. I've had not such good luck with setting powder or setting spray. Like, I don't know what it is. Like the milk one was just too dewy. I didn't like the smell of the Charlotte Tilbury. And then the best really one is the Urban Decay All Nighter, which I might end up getting again. Eventually the spring nozzle just broke and it just ended up being like a spray as opposed to a mist. So it kind of turned me off. But if you have a setting spray that doesn't smell, let me know. But I'm just gonna, this is my final look, and let me know what you think. I'll link the products if you're interested. I'm wearing a blouse from Nordstrom. It's a pretty old one. And then some vintage Art Deco silver earrings I've had since I was like 16 years old. I love Art Deco, and I love the style of Art Deco, this kind of jewelry. Oh, all right, I forgot one more thing. I actually wanted to try this new Hermes highlighter in front of you. I'm going to do a review of this, but I just can't wait. This is the 02 Eau Rose. And this is the one that I just got in the mail yesterday. I did take pictures of it before I swatched it, so it is it's not perfect anymore. But this is what she looks like. Super pretty. Look at that embossing. It's so pretty. And some people will buy makeup just for the embossing and like not use it. That's not going to happen with me. I'm definitely going to use my product. So what I'm going to do is actually take a clean squirrel hair brush because I don't know how pigmented this is. And I'm just taking a Wayne Goss fluffy squirrel hair brush. And obviously I'm going to go into the part where it's like I don't ruin as much as the embossing for the meantime. And then see if this baby works. No highlighter. Really subtle. It does melt into my skin more than the Chanel. It reminds me of the Chanel one. But this is less duochromy. It's like the sophisticated adult version. It's like the less holiday party one. This is for like every day. Wow, so pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna put some on my nose and then here. So this is not just a highlighter. They really call it an illuminator, if I remember. Yes, face and eyes illuminating powder. So what I'll do in my review is I will not just use it as a highlighter. What I'll do when I have more time, I'll actually use it on my eyes. And today, let me see if I can have time to do this. I like to use a lot of highlighters for my inner corner pop. Let's see if I can do that on camera. Nice. It's the perfect mix of pink champagne, but not too pink, not too peach. Beautiful. It can go with a lot of different looks, whether warm tone or cool tone. So today I'm wearing obviously a cool tone look with the blue, but it works. The Chanel one has like a shift in it, so there's like some pink and blue, so it definitely looks more editorial and it leans squarely cool, whereas this can probably traverse a couple different looks. Let me put some up here since I didn't accent this area. I mean, it does have a strong rose quality, pink rose. Tell me what you think. A little bit more just so you can see how it is. Beautiful. I mean, this is such a ridiculously priced highlighter face powder, but I mean, I guess if you really wanted to, you could use it as a face powder. Maybe I'll do that at my review, but today I'm going into work. I don't want to with the reviews, at least you can take it off, but I already took off my makeup once today because I started off with a terrible base. But this is beautiful. This is the new Hermes highlighter. It's supposed to be an eye and face illuminator, aka highlighter. So I have that on. Tell me what you think. It is gorgeous. Is it worth the price? I don't know. A lot of, I mean, I have luxury beauty channel. Like it's, you could probably get this duped. Woo! I have a Fenty one. This might be close to. So what I'll do in my longer review, I'm obviously going to do a highlighter and then put it on my eyes. And maybe I'll try it on my face. Maybe we'll see how much shimmery it gets. And then I will also pull out in my collection all the highlighters I have that are close to this shade and formula. This reminds me of a bit of the Chanel one. Pat McGrath, and then also Fenty. We'll see if these are similar. Is it worth the price tag? You know, probably not. This is like overly priced, but it is beautiful. All right, tell me what you think. You have a beautiful day, beauty fam, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Have this